Welcome to another adventure with Getting Lost. Today, we're going to continue our journey along the Rochor River, and we're going to head that direction, and we're going to see where the river ends up. So if you're interested in that, join me after the intro, which is happening now. Welcome back. In the distance, you can actually see Jalan Besar, which is a very busy road in Singapore. And we are actually along Sungai Road now. And right inside here, all these blocks here, there's actually a coffee shop where you can there's actually a famous stall in one of those coffee shops called the Sungai Road Laksa. If you do like laksa, this is one of the places you have to go to and try it. But what we're going to do is we're going to continue walking along the Rochor River. And in this fenced up area in the past, there used to be this area with lots of lanes, and the area was called Thieves Lane, where a lot of people used to come here to sell second-hand goods. But unfortunately, the area has been cleared up and fenced up. What's going to happen here? I don't know. We just have to wait and see. But what we're going to do is we're going to look at one of the features. One of those monuments along Rochor River is this church here. And the name of the church is the Church of Our Lady of Lourdes, which is a Catholic church in Singapore located at Opia Road. This church was actually officially opened in 1888, and it was the first Tamil Catholic church in Singapore. This church underwent restoration work in 2010, and now, as you can see, it's quite beautiful. The church is a neo-Gothic building of good proportions and fine details, and is said to be modelled on its namesake building in the town of Lourdes in France. And it's also a very iconic building along the river. And it's also close to this building here, which is actually a madrasah or a Islam religious school. So in Singapore, you can have religious buildings close to each other without any friction. So here is the Rochor River. One thing about the Rochor River, as you can see, is not very clean, unfortunately. So that is Sungai Road. This is the Rochor River. And we're going to continue walking in that direction. Another also interesting feature along the river is this place here, which is a bus terminal. This bus terminal is actually unique in the sense that this is the Queen Street bus terminal, and people come here to take buses to Johor, which is in Malaysia. So you actually can come here, take a bus, a public bus or a private bus from here all the way to Johor, which is actually in neighboring country Malaysia, which is the state right next to Singapore. And in that direction is actually one of the MRT exits for Bugis MRT station. So you can actually come to Bugis MRT station and come to Queen Street bus terminal to take a bus from here to Johor. Just remember, if you are going to go to Johor, please remember to bring your passport, because even though we are close to each other, we are actually in two different countries. So Johor is actually in Malaysia, which is the neighboring country in Singapore. And here's the river, and it flows past the church, past this Queen Street bus terminal. You can also take a taxi from here to Johor too, from this location here. And in the distance, the colorful building is actually Sim Lim Tower, which is a place where people do come here to buy electronical components. And opposite Sim Lim Tower is the infamous Sim Lim Square. And so, as you can see, the river actually starts to go underground from here. So we're not actually able to follow the river directly, but what we can do is we can actually follow a road. There's actually a road that is called Sungai Road, and Sungai Road in Malay means Sungai means river. So in the past, Sungai Road actually ran along the river. So if we follow Sungai Road, we will eventually bring us back to the river. So this is Sungai Road. Sungai Road is actually heading down that direction, and we will continue walking that direction along Sungai Road. And of course, this is Sim Lim Square. Sim Lim Square is a large retail complex which offers a wide variety of electronical goods and services, from DVDs, cameras, phones, video cameras, computer, all these kind of things. But unfortunately, this place is infamous because of several incidents where the retailer actually tried to cheat tourists by overcharging them for certain items. So the news was actually reported in China newspapers and also Vietnamese newspapers to warn them about such retailers at this location. And because of the infamous reputation of this location, many tourists and locals don't come here nowadays to buy their electronical goods. And here is Jalan Besar, which is also another very popular place for food. I've done food adventures along this road. If you're interested in that, I will leave the links in the description down below and also at the end of the video. So we're going to continue walking along here, which is Sungai Road. And now we are actually coming to this junction here, which is the start of Serangoon Road. And one thing, and if you actually head down that direction, you will be heading towards Little India, or this is the beginning of Little India. And at this junction here, there's this location called Daycare Center, which is also another very popular place for hawker food, Singaporean food, mainly Indian Muslim food. At this place here called Daycare Center, which is a very popular place for Indian Muslim food. And if you like Indian Muslim food, this is the place to come and eat it. I've also had food adventures at this location too. If you want to know more about this, as per usual, links are in the description down below and also at the end of the video. So Daycare Center, there's two at the lower level. Level 1 is where the food center and the market is. On the top level is more of retail. A lot of places that sells Indian saris. If you're interested in that, you'll see colorful saris, you should go up there and have a look. But down here is where all the food is. on the first floor. So a very good place to come for food. If you like Indian Muslim food, Singaporean hawker food, this is the place to come. And if you just keep walking along the road, you'll come to the Little India MRT station. You're just going to continue walking along here, following the road. The road now on my left is actually called Bukit Timah Road. And we're going to continue walking along this road. So the river actually is underground now, somewhere over there. And in the distance, you can actually see an old bus. This is an old public bus, maybe in the 50s or 60s. These were the buses that were running around over Singapore. And in the complex over there is actually the LTA headquarters. And it's also the location of the former KK hospital. And we're coming to another junction here. And here, the river actually comes up from underground here. And we'll continue walking along here. And the road in front of us now is actually the Kampong Java Road, which is this road here. And the Rochor River actually runs along Kampong Java Road. So you're going to head down that direction. On my right here is actually the LTA headquarters, or the Land Transport Authority of Singapore headquarters, and on my left is the KK hospital. So at the location of the LTA headquarters used to be the old location of the KK hospital, and then they closed the location, moved the hospital across the road to the new location. So it used to be here, then it moved across the road to the new location, and this is the new location of the KK hospital. And the KK hospital, this is what the locals call it, which stands for Kandang Kerbau Hospital. So Kandang Kerbau is actually a Malay word meaning buffalo shed. So this gives you a hint of this location. In the past, it used to be buffalo rearing area, but now it's a location for a hospital, a very important hospital, which is the KK Women's and Children Hospital, and it's the largest hospital specializing in healthcare for women and children in Singapore. A very important place. A lot of Singaporeans were given birth at this hospital. So I hope you enjoyed what you see so far. In our next video, we'll continue our journey along the Rochor River. We're going to see what else, what other monuments, what other locations that we can find along the river, and I hope you enjoy it. And as per usual, please do me a favor, please help me by liking my video, sharing my video, and also subscribing to my channel if you have not done so. And lastly, but the most important thing, hey look, fishes. So the water here is cleaner than up. Anyway, we will discuss this in the next video. Like, share, and subscribe, and join me for my next video. Bye bye.